hell down here. Some soldiers are coming back. They don't have a home. Their house been repossessed. Everything they had is gone. Congress is fighting against the president. The things they are saying just don't make good sense. If they would all work together, they could get something done. Instead of all this fighting, they'll have jobs for everyone. Father, Father, Heavenly Father, we're living in hell down here. Father, Father, Heavenly Father, we're living in hell down here.
Greetings, I'm George Boston Rhymes, and this is the Ghetto Free Press. And I most solemnly, sincerely promise and swear that the information that you're about to receive is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. So help me God. That it has been over 200 days that a 14-year-old middle school black African-American girl was taken down by a sheriff deputy and charged during an altercation with two other girls that attacked her, and she was the defendant. You will see her on this YouTube channel. Again, I most solemnly, sincerely promise and swear that what you're about to hear is the truth and nothing but the truth. This 14-year-old black girl mother is still in pain. Her father is still in pain. After 200 days, her situation with law enforcement and the Southern judiciary and the juvenile court system has rendered no justice, according to her a few minutes ago. 60 days she tried to get an appeal. Her 60 days for an appeal or rebuttal to the judge's decision, nothing has happened. Now, I want to say to you that this is not the only young child in our school system. She is a mother that stands up, and that's what making the difference. No lawyer, no judge have rendered any justice to this family concerning their 14-year-old child. She cannot get a copy of the transcript that she believed will show beyond question that her child was not given justice in this juvenile court system with Judge Ellaby and the Honorable James Counsel. Now, they just called me a few minutes ago and said to me, Rhymes, what's going on here? Well, I want to go further to say to you, I have put this on YouTube that if there was any justice in the Southern judiciary, if there was any justice in the Georgia Bar Association, to me, they would say something about this case. Because just like the KJ's case, just like the Willie James Williams case, just like the Egerton's case, just like many other cases, just like my criminal trespass warning case, there is no justice in Lowndes County and Valdosta. Nancy Grace, Al Sharpton, Jesse L. Jackson, the civil rights leaders, the Justice Department, how many more years, how many more people must suffer and die before you all wake up and understand that something is severely wrong in this nation? What do you want the people to do? Eric Holder, what are you waiting for the citizens in the black community in particular to do? We have taken as much as we can take. I'm not a young person, I'm a senior citizen, but these young people here in Valdosta, Georgia is overfed up with a judicial system that is designed to put them in jail, put them in prison, put them on probation, or if necessary, death row. It's just that simple. You don't get the interviews in this place from the young people. And so all of this is bundled up inside of our black children. They are in pain, but won't nobody hear their cries. And then when something happens, you're gonna label them as terrorists. I wrote the president after 9/11. And if we never meet with the terrorists to find out what is burning them so deeply, what is causing them so much pain, and we can go and bomb them and bomb them and bomb them and bomb them, and they're gonna continue to put bombs around their children and around their own waist because won't nobody hear their cries. Now, back home, there's only so much. Mr. Eric Holder, there's only so much. Michael Moore, there's only so much. Nathan Deal, there is only so much that a human being will take until they burst. Now, it is a disgrace. I'm a veteran. It is a disgrace for a 14-year-old girl to go through what she have gone through, and now her 60-day period for an appeal is up. Yet her lawyer couldn't get a copy of the transcript, and she fought because I walked with her to get it. First they told her she couldn't get it. She had to have a lawyer. So she got a lawyer. She got 2 lawyers, and she still haven't gotten a copy of the transcript. Now, I believe, like the transcript over in Quitman with the Quitman 10 +2, Lula Smart, if that transcript of that young lady's trial, Lula Smart, is seen by any person of average intelligence who are not brain dead, they are going to see something that the whole world needs to see and expose how black people are treated in the Southern Judiciary and the Georgia Bar Association. Nobody in Georgia government seem to care about any justice. What they do is that they put on suits and long white robes or black robes and look like statesmen and make states out of everybody else. And I'm going to say to you, Mr. Eric Holder, I'm going to say to the Justice Department and Georgia Attorney General, today marks 200 days that I have been under a criminal trespass warning. And I'm getting people not only in America, but around the world to look at how our democracy is working. And I'm here to say that if we are not a real democracy, if there is a definition for a democracy, and if I have violated no law in the state of Georgia or in the United States of America, then what will Iran say? What will Iraq say? What will Afghanistan say? What will Russia and other third world communist nations say when they see a retired military veteran with 21 years in the United States Armed Forces put his life on the line during the Vietnam era? And yet, I can't get a response from nobody. The Sheriff Department, the Police Department, the City Mayor and Council, the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners, and the Chairman Slaughter, who kept me from even bringing up my issues at the commissioners meeting, say they couldn't address it. Moreover, the Georgia Attorney General issued a red handbook, say they believe in open government and our right to free speech and our rights to free to assemble, etc., etc. But nothing has been done. I haven't heard nothing from anybody. Where are the civil rights organizations? How can we black men allow this young 14-year-old human being to be tackled by a deputy over 300 pounds, and she's ain't even 100 pounds, and we don't get outraged? And even more sickening than that, how can the mothers and fathers that got children in Pine Grove middle schools and other schools in Lowndes County sit well and not even know the incident ever happened because we don't have a newspaper to tell their story? After she gave them the complete package, they wouldn't say nothing about it. And so that means if other children have been tackled or falsely accused, won't nobody know nothing about it. Won't nobody know anything about it, because it's not newsworthy here in Valdosta, this metro city. There's no mention on the television stations. I was with her. I watched her give out packages, complete packages, to the television station and told them, you are at liberty to report this because other mothers and fathers need to know about this. But what have you heard about it? Nancy Graves have a copy of it. Why haven't Nancy Graves said something? I heard that Nancy Graves is afraid of Valdosta because she has some experience in Valdosta. Moreover, what's wrong with our radio station? What's wrong with our civil rights leaders? What's wrong with our local pastors, our rabbis, our imams in Islam? You have seen them cry on this YouTube channel. You don't see out there in the news what you find on this YouTube channel. And this is why they put me under this criminal trespass warning. They want you to continue to lie and tell everybody you about freedom, justice, and equality, and the right to vote, and all that bull junk. And we know better. And so pretty soon, the truth about America gonna be all over the world. Simply because the young people are putting it on Facebook. They putting it on Twitter. They just putting it everywhere. They want the whole world to know that what we've been talking about, it wasn't talked about on the level of truth. Undoubtedly, we've been a hypocrite. And so I guess God and Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and all the rest of them that proclaim to be right and holiness unto the Creator, I guess they all are saying now something is wrong in the United States of America. But we are going to continue this because I don't believe that no American citizen, no other person should join the United States Armed Forces, and I serve. And I got freedom of speech. I don't think no American citizen should join the United States Armed Forces as long as our 14-year-old girls can be tackled to the ground and no news media will cover it. No TV, no radio, and nobody cover it. They act as if though they are not important. And so they're ready to send them into jails, prison, or put them on probation. The mother was crying this morning. George, 60 days, my time for my appeal to what the judge or counsel gave is up the end of November. The end of November, her 60 days for an appeal is up. She haven't even got a copy of the transcript. I'm not talking about in Russia. I'm not talking about in China. I'm talking about right here in Valdosta, Georgia, and in the United States of America. I'm not talking about in Iran. I'm not talking about in Iraq. I'm not talking about in Russia. I'm talking about here in the state of Georgia. And so somebody got to talk. I don't care about your Jesus that lets you go to church and you can't address these issues. I'm not concerned about your God that got you driving in a Lexus, but you done forgot about the rest of us. I'm talking about another God. I'm talking about another Jesus. I'm talking about a Jesus that if his truth live within a man, and if he know that chemtrails are spreading chemicals out among these American people, they would say something. They won't just continue to do it. I'm talking about a God that if that God's spirit live within that person, they will tell them, look, there is radiation in your baby food or your baby formula, and I got to tell you about it. But as long as people say they love Jesus and they can't tell the truth, they are liars, and the truth is not in them, nor me. Because if you love your fellow man, then you would be willing to do what Jesus, Muhammad, and the rest of them did for the sake of righteousness. John Brown went against white folk to stand up for what was right. That's where we are today. To all of you who watch this on YouTube, I want to say to you this day, it is a sad day in America when the citizens just let people do what they want to them and they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't say nothing except when they're in the bathroom, and even then they say it in a low tone of breath because they are afraid of the government. They are afraid of what people will say about them. But I'm here to say to you this day that we had better wake up. We send our sons and our daughters to fight these wars against foreign and domestic enemies that haven't done nothing to us. But when they say go fight, we go fight. When they say go die, we go die. But what about our own children here in the land of the free and the home of the brave and the too often the crazies? So as I close out, I simply want to say to you, my criminal trespass warning without justification or notification will not go away any more than my wrongful termination on March the 20th, 2008, with Walmart Stores Incorporated, who terminated me under the heading of inability to perform job, yet they boldly denied me and they denied thousands of others their own training program. And then they fire you and say, I'm the big dog on the block. We do what we want to you little peons. We don't have to threaten you. You ain't got no money. You can't compete with Walmart because we got the money. We got the attorneys and we got the civil rights leaders in our back pocket. We know donate $500,000 to the NAACP or some other civil rights organization, so we don't have to worry about you. We just dropped you like you're hot. We do you like we want to, and we can get away with it because you in states like Georgia, which is an at-will to work state, which means you can be fired for good cause, bad cause, or for no cause at all, and they don't even have to tell you why you fired. And that's not a black or white thing, that's a right thing. And Jesus said, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. So come on with your crazy religion. You got a religion that make you go into church on Sunday, go to mosque on Friday, Juvenile service, but you won't stand up when it comes down to standing up for what is good in America. What could make this a better nation? We punk out under pressure. Once again, this 14-year-old girl, her mother and father, I have constant contact with them. After 2 lawyers talking to the judge, talking to another judge, Judge Ellaby, and nothing has been done to bring some justice and some relief to these American citizens. What say you, the American people? Look at this YouTube channel. Just Google the 14-year-old girl and get the complete synopsis of what this mother has gone through, and the Southern judiciary still have not rendered any justice. According to the mother I just talked to a few minutes ago, and she worked at the Lowndes County Jail. She got a little information about the law system. And her husband are very fed up, along with many other people. And sad and sickening point about it, how many more people, how many more children have suffered like she has? And it seemed like this clique, and those among the slicks can continue here in Valdosta and Lowndes County. And let me say this while I'm at it. The death of KJ is not just the death of KJ. The death of KJ is about all these other deaths and murders and killings that have been done, and nothing has been done about it. Don't just isolate this with KJ. KJ is just the peak of the pyramid. There's so many black folk that have died around here, murdered in Valdosta, until it's not even funny. And won't nobody say nothing about it. And so you make the Johnson family seem crazy, but it's not just about them. They have the history too, because I've told them in the history of it. My grandmama told me the history. And so you don't want us to talk about the truth, do you? Yet you want us to follow the Jesus concept. But Jesus also said that a house divided against itself would not stand. And so if the house is divided, and if the house is on fire, and you ignore those in the fire, what do you think gonna happen to you? You can run, but you can't get away, America. Jesus said, and ye shall know the truth. And as long as people like me and others are yet to be born, they're gonna bring this back and keep it in your face. The Bible says that heaven and earth would pass away, but my word gonna stand forever. So these are not my words. These are the words of the divine source, and that is the God of creation. I'm gonna leave you now, but I'll be back in a few minutes, because the truth must be told during the last days of the reign of the wicked. I put my life on the line for 21 years for that flag you're looking at. But I'm about to believe now, after serving my country, if a 14-year-old girl can be tackled, and then when she tried to follow the judicial system and the law that they have in place, and they don't work for her, then I'm about to regret I ever served one day in the United States Armed Forces, because it just don't work. It just don't work. It just don't work. For me to be over 200-day criminal trespass warning without justification or notification, and the Georgia Attorney General is fully aware of it, the Department of Justice are fully aware of it, the Sheriff PRINE said to West Taylor, according to West Taylor, and according to Reverend John H. Robertson, said to me, the sheriff is working on something on me. And when I called the Justice Department, they too thought that something was wrong with them working something on me. And I'm here to tell you that after 200 days, I haven't heard nothing. So I'm saying to the world, if something happens to me, then let it happen to me. But let me go down in history as saying I stood up for you because I served this nation, and I took an oath and obligation to serve and protect from both foreign and domestic enemies. And when anybody come against the freedom of the people, they are an enemy to this country. Bye-bye. We gone.
When I was a little boy, there was a lot of love. Love between brothers and sisters, neighbors and friends. There was so much love until I thought that love would never end. But today, as I look around me, I see so much hatred and killing everywhere. So if you got someone that loves you, I'll tell you today, you better love them back. Where did all the love go? Somebody tell me, where did it go? Where did all the love go? Somebody tell me, where did it go? There was a time if a neighbor saw you in distress, they would come running to help. These days, they'll just drive by just to see what's going on, so they can call their friends and tell them on the cell phone. As a people, where are we going from here? What will the future be like? Will things get better, or will it get worse? If we don't come together, I'm sure in the future, things will be worse. Where did all the love go?
Greetings, I'm George.
Somebody tell me, where did it go?
I most solemnly submit.
Where did all the love go?
The information that you're about
Somebody
to receive.
tell me, where did it go?
So help me God. So help
There
me
was
God.
love in the church.
That it has been over 200
There was
days.